In today's video, I'm going to share with you a set of studio monitors I've been using over the last few weeks with my MacStudio. Whether you've got a MacMini or MacStudio, and if you can't stand the onboard speaker sound like this guy right here, you might be looking at a set of monitors. These affordable studio monitors are from NUX, and the model number is the AXON 3. These tick a whole lot of boxes for me personally, and I'll talk about that throughout the video. Thanks to NUX for sending out the AXON 3 speakers to the channel and sponsoring this video. As always, all thoughts about these will be my own, and if you want to take a look at them, I'll link them down in the description. First up, let me give you a quick rundown of what these units are. So these are a portable set of studio monitors that are 45 watts RMS each, and this is split from 30 watts on the larger speaker to 15 watts on the tweeter. They're ported at the front as well, and the bass response is excellent. What really separates this from a lot of studio monitors that I've owned in the past, being an audio guy first and foremost, is the fact that we get all of these different connection options on the back. So if you're currently using another sound card, you can plug that in via the left and right 1/4-inch inputs over here. It can connect via USB-C, and it comes with that cable in the box. So this means you can just plug the USB-C cable into this, plug it into your computer, and you're in business. I really like that, and I've tested that out quite a number of times. Furthermore, we get RCA inputs over here as well if you're running out of a mixer into this, which is fantastic. And on the top, we have our auxiliary in. But the best feature is that you can pair this via Bluetooth. There's a Bluetooth button on the back, which means you don't even need to run a cable in. And this is the main reason why I think this particular set is perfect for a MacStudio or MacMini. My personal favorite way of running this entire setup is with the auxiliary in out of the headphone socket on the back of the Mac. But you can also run it out of your existing monitor. So I've got a BenQ monitor. It's a beautiful display. I reviewed that, and it's got a whole bunch of connectivity on it as well. It means I can simply plug these in either via USB. I can plug the 3.5mm audio jack in on the back, and I've got audio that I can fully control with the keyboard. So it really ticks a lot of boxes there. After owning a bunch of studio monitors over the years, I love the small form factor of these. They don't sound small at all, and we'll get to that in just a moment, but they have a full range sound. There's not a lot of hiss from them either, and you can position them in a way that works for you. So if you've got them on a desk and you're seated above the speaker, you can simply use this little magnetic clip here to put on the front edge, and then they'll be angled up towards your ear. Now, for best setup, you're best to have them at equal distance from where you're sitting in a sort of like a triangle. So just keep that in mind if you do get a set of these, but they're really easy to configure, and the sound quality is awesome. Weight-wise, these come in at only 1.98 kilograms, and they come with their very own carry bag. So these are designed to be either set up in a dedicated setup, or you can bring them on the go, which I think is really great. The carry bag is really high quality. Now, if you're into video editing, it's one thing to get really nice video quality, but one of the most important things is nailing the audio. If your audio is bad, no one's going to listen. I found myself making a few mistakes, especially on the high-end frequencies, when it comes to mixing with headphones. These give me a much better and more sort of flat sound overall. The NUX AXON 3 also comes with DSP technology. So I've got the app on my phone, which allows me to fully customize the EQ curves on the speakers. Say, for example, I want to take out a little bit of low end or enhance a little bit of low end. You can do that thanks to the app. To hook these up, it's nice and simple. All you need to do is plug in the provided power supply over here and then run the audio cable from this speaker into the other, and that's it. Then you can connect via Bluetooth if you so choose, or of course you can use any of the other options over here. It's also worth mentioning that there's a notched volume control. I've just been leaving this at 12 o'clock and it's plenty loud, but if you do need to turn it down physically from the speaker and have a lower starting volume, you can do that. Or if you want to crank it up, you can. I've just found at 12 o'clock, I've got no problems using this. And again, the volume is fully configurable from the keys on your computer keyboard. All right, talk is cheap. So what I'm going to do now is show you some actual sound samples in the room being recorded with a Rode NT-G5 microphone, which is a professional shotgun microphone. Now, the mic will be in exactly the same spot the entire time, even if the camera angle slightly changes. I'm also going to compare these speakers over here versus what I would consider to be decent speakers on my MacBook Air. This is an M1 version from a few years ago. These speakers are pretty decent, but man, these kill them. So let's have a listen. The MacBook Air speakers are pretty solid, but as you can see, there's no comparison. So if you want professional audio with a computer like this, you can get it thanks to the NUX speakers over here. Up next, I want to show you the difference between the MacStudio onboard speaker, which is terrible considering it's supposed to be a multimedia device, up against these right here. So let's do it. Clearly there's a huge difference here. Not only is the output volume on the MacStudio speaker terrible, it's a very thin frequency range, and these have a nice, full, responsive low end as well as detailed high end, so it's not even close. And lastly, I want to show you the difference between the onboard speakers on my BenQ monitor, which is a beautiful screen, up against these. So let's have a quick listen. As you can note out here, these speakers are in a league of their own. I think they sound much better. If you're like me and you've been using a Mac Mini or MacStudio with a third-party display, this is a really easy way of upgrading your sound without breaking the bank. And with these speakers attached to my monitor, I'm able to get much better audio than even the onboard speakers on my old 27-inch iMac. Let's cover the pros and cons here. So again, I'm very impressed with these. They're going in the best of 2025. They're just a great sounding speaker that's small, lightweight, and portable, which is what they're supposed to do, and that's great. Now, the DSP software is cool if you're into that kind of thing and if you need to sort of shape the sound of the speakers to a particular room. But I find if you go down that rabbit hole of sort of re-EQing speakers, you don't really know what you're listening to. So just start with them, how they're set up straight out of the box, and you'll be very impressed. Even if you're coming from a 27-inch iMac, for example, the sound quality out of these far exceeds my old experience editing, to the point where, being a music guy as well, I'm very impressed with what I'm hearing back, and it's very easy to get my audio to sound the way that I want. I'll be editing this video on these speakers, so you can be the judge whether or not you like the sound quality. The only thing I wish these speakers had included was a 3.5mm audio cable. It's the only thing really missing to make this the perfect out-of-box experience, because I had to go through and raid one of my headphone connectors to get this to work with the MacStudio if I wanted to use that port. Of course, there's Bluetooth connectivity in there, but overall, these things are fantastic, and I don't think you're going to be too disappointed. Thanks again to Michael from NUX for sending these out. I really appreciate it. If you want to take a look, I'll link them down below. Catch you soon.